Right guys, bit of a change of scenery for you today. I hope you can hear me. It's a bit windy, but I'm out in the garden. Just give the box and that a clean. It's been tidying up my gear. Really lucky today. I only had to go into a couple of hours drive, go and do an induction and for a job later on in the year and come home. So I've had a bit of time to get my kit ready. Still got some hooks to do, but that's all. So I've got all my rigs topped up, all that sort of stuff's done. So I apologise already for the shaky camera because I am going to have to turn it around and hold it one-handed while I show you through, but we'll go through the box as everyone asked, and then I'm going to set the box up, do a separate video on, been asked for it a few times, just how I have the box set up. So we'll do that. So I'm going to flip you around now, lovely picture of the garden while I'm just getting off my box. That was last lockdown's project when I couldn't do any fishing. There was a load of conifers there, so my wife wanted a big flower wall. It's turned out alright, but more importantly onto the box. Right, let me go back a little bit. First of all, the box I use. Now, anyone that's watched my videos before, I'm sure you've gathered from now, I'm not the tallest of people. I love 36mm legs. I used the XR36 Pro, and before that the S36. Best boxes I've ever used. I did own, before I was sponsored, I've had Prestons and Reeves and several other boxes. These are by far the best made boxes. Never had any problems with drawers or catches or anything. Now the XR36 and the S36 were brilliant boxes, but because I'm 5'5", but I've got really short legs, not in proportion at all. And the problem I had was to keep my legs straight when sat on the box. You want your legs at 90, like coming off 90 degree and a straight angle, and mine were going like, I'm trying to show you here, going up like that or going down like that, and then I was tiptoeing, and it just wasn't right. So I had to have no drawer unit. It was literally the seat put straight on top of the frame, and then I had to have my side drawer and my rigs in the storage bit underneath, and it was all just a bit faffy. It did work, obviously worked once you were set up, it was fine, but we did ask, there was a few of us, because the Matrix anglers, a lot of us aren't the tallest. We did ask for a smaller 36mm leg box, and I was delighted when this came out last year. This is the 36, the XR Comp, which is the canal frame. Now you'll see from my box, I have changed it around a bit. It's normally like the drawer on top here and the legs are up like a canal stool. I've actually lowered it down. You see here, lowered it right down as low as it will go, and then built it up. I've obviously got a deep drawer, and then I've got 3 stacker units, and like you see people carrying loads around. I've actually got all my commercial rigs, barring I don't carry my winter rigs in the summer. One of those trays will come out, and then I've got another one in the garage just with the lid on the two, with some deep rigs, but they stay in my garage, to be honest. What's in them, there's a lot of rigs in there. That covers all of my commercial fishing. I'm not one for hundreds of patterns of floats, and this is what I would tell you: use whatever floats you want, but get to learn how they behave and use the same few patterns. This final one, the base is really shallow on this, and it's one of there's nothing in there. It's no base. It's just the heightening unit. I can't remember the exact name for it. Clip that on the bottom. It just gives me a bit bigger, deeper base, and all my hook lamps are in there. So yeah, best box I've ever owned by a long way. Like, now I've got it all set up right. So we'll have a quick look in the drawer. Got the drawer dividers from Tackle Box UK or something like that. I had them made. They were already in stock on. Saw them on Facebook. Really good. What have I got in here? Plummets in that little bit, and there's a 40 gram inline lead, so I can just sit on my box, get my rods out and like plumb up, clip up with that straight away. Various plummets, I like 30 grams in open water, and the little 10s for up against islands where you're on a slope, as I talked about. Just lifted this out the way, little clicker, bought it on Facebook the other week, again really good. Could do with a little bit of, like, it just twists, I can't do it, twists around, nothing to go rusty, really good. I am just going to file some little bits because sometimes you can't grip it and turn it very well when you've got all meat and stuff over your hands. Some marker, in all honesty, like, that's better than Tipex, that tyre marker, it comes off better, but I don't really use it now because I've got the inch marks all the way up. I can just remember how deep I'm fishing against one of my marks. So say I'm fishing in 5 foot, I'm in 57 inches or something like that, and I can remember when my float tip sits. It's another advantage of having them. Plenty of disgorgers. Of course, I got a Preston one. I don't use it as a disgorger. I'm just trying to unscrew it. It's just for a knot picker. Every now and again you get that funny little knot that you can't undo. Obviously don't try to get in tangles, and by being smooth you won't get many, but every now and again a fish comes off and it pings back, and just carry that for that time. So putting a new rig on. What else have we got in here? Loop tyre. I carry one with me just for when I shorten my rigs down, just to make a nice neat loop. Got more in my box, like in my prep gear. So lots of disgorgers, compression bait punches for bomb and bread and punched meat and stuff. For bread on the pole I prefer the actual these ones because it compresses a little bit better for when you're dobbing. It just helps it stay on that bit where you're lifting it out lots and regularly. Black marker pen, never be without that. Just some baiting tools. Don't use that one that often, the one with the little spike on it. This one, I've got 2 or 3 of these. Use that all the while. It's always worth carrying spares of everything, just in case you drop it in. They do float, but just in case you can't find it or you lose it somewhere. Use them for pushing me pellets on, like I was saying about spike pellets. Anything with a bait spike, brilliant little bit of kit. They are sharp, so just be careful. Moving on to this middle section, it's pole cups and pole cups. All my little ones there, mediums, larges, and all the matrix ones are brilliant. You can build them up and make them the exact size you want. Now, like as I've said to you, swapping pot size throughout the day and having it just the amount of right bait, different lids so that you can put the bait in quietly, louder. So it's always good. I've got plenty of them, keep them nice and close to hand. Moving back from there, this one I've just got some yellow float paint, just in case I'm fishing a black float and conditions change, I can just build it up. A couple of pellet banders again, just for if your hands get really wet. I'm normally alright putting them on a band, but there's odd days I do struggle with it. Shot, obviously shot my rigs up at home, but always case of more shot. I might want to make a rig on the bank, or just need to adjust the shotting of it. There's a few feeders in there. I don't know why they're in there, in all honesty. A couple of spare caps just from the thing, so I don't not bumming them with a pole if one does come off in transit. Got all the attachments on my keep nets already, but there's just a couple more there. Again, you never know. Moving this side, there's an old butt rest. I've got the new matrix ones now. That was an old Fox one. I do sometimes just screw it on there, and or on the front one for attaching my landing net handle sometimes. On a really windy day, just to keep it not from blowing away. Some 020 and 023 line. Again, just for tying rigs on the bank or lengthening them. I do have some rigs already made up on a top 4, but sometimes you ain't quite got the right rig. I'm not against attaching line and making the rig longer if need be, or if the wind gets really up. I'd rather have it right to start with, but it's there if I need it. A couple of paste pots. Matrix don't currently do ones, so I've just got these Guru ones at the moment. The all important tape, like I've said, when you're fishing up against features, it's battered and bruised, but just wrapping some around your pole so you know you're exactly on the right depth. Plenty of float stops, they're always handy to have some of them with you for different things, for jigger rigs and all that sort of stuff. Some swan shot, that's for plumbing up with a waggler. Hat need to do it, just pinching one on the hook. And in the winter when the dotting floats right down, I've just got some stops, some 12s and 13s, just for being really mega accurate. Moving back into the back, what have we got? Some sinking line spray, very handy. Should have forgot all about that in there the other day, my mistake. 2 islands when I was fishing the feeder, when you're chucking in real shallow water, it's hard to sink your line. I've topped that up, it's only an old bottle, it's actually just washing up liquid in there. A little pellet punch. I don't use it for like a cone thing, I actually use it for in the winter on a windy day. Put it in my micros and make tiny little hard balls to cup in over the top when I'm fishing expanders. Just regulates the size as well. Some Vaseline, just for getting that float dotted perfectly, and very good in depth for winter. Don't like wearing gloves, just rubbing on the back of your hands where the wind gets it, just helps keep the warmth in a little bit. Other side, Nurofen, always worth having some with you. I've had a couple of bad headaches during a match before, never again. Stopwatch for feeder fishing, some pellet waggler attachments, and then there's this little box, can't remember who that's made by, but nice little box. It's got my jiggers in there, some lead clips as I was showing you about, the beads for them, some more float stops. These are the Matrix, they're the largest quick, they're the little ones I was saying about for the pellet waggler, the Trabuco ones. And these are the large Matrix quick change swivels. I just use them. There's one already in here actually. Just use them on my stems for method and bomb fishing on my elasticated stems. I can click it off, I can put, if the peg needs it and I need to put a load of feed in, I can put a bait up feeder or something like that in on my normal rig. So there's nothing out the ordinary in here, but might be something you just pick up on. Might warrant a little video asking about something and why I use it. So that's the draw unit. Move into the rigs. First of all, these are all me, like the blue winders, the small winders. These are all my shallow and shallow water rigs. I'll start off over here. These are little inline dibbers. Make them up on 020, just because